Can you describe your operation here?
Yes, it's a family-owned operation where we breed specifically bulls for Central Queensland or Northern Australia. We've been in the bull breeding business for about 30 years. We generally focus on African derived genetics or tropically adapted Bosch Taurus breeds for Northern Australia. For 30 years we've been involved with the Belmont Red breeds, and in the last 7 or 8 years we've been utilising the Centerpole and Centerpole crosses or Centerpole Charolais cross breeds for clients in the north.
What do the African derived breeds offer, and how do they complement the females?
Well, generally the breeds we've been working with, the Belmont Red and the Centerpole, they are both adapted Bosch Taurus breeds. So they can handle the tropical environments, they're pretty good with parasite resistance, and as you would expect they have the higher rates of fertility and meat quality like the temperate Bosch Taurus breeds like the Angus. So essentially we're putting a Bosch Taurus breed with those better fertility and meat quality traits into Northern Australia, where traditionally only Brahman cattle have been adapted enough to handle that environment.
How selective are you in your breeding stock, like your bulls?
Yeah, well, we like to ensure that our bulls have reached puberty by yearling or 400 day. So we certainly measure their scrotal circumference at that time and cull on that. We try and maximise as much growth as we can. One of the perceived weaknesses of the African derived genetics is a lack of growth. I don't think that's warranted in today's age, because some of the high growth African bulls certainly compete with most of the other breeds. In the early years there was a perception that some of the Belmont Red cattle needed a bit more muscling. Using the Centerpole, some of the Centerpoles and Bonsmara cattle, which is a South African equivalent of the Belmont Red, I think we've been able to do that. So like I said, using the like type of breeds around the world, we're just broadening the gene pool of the product we're offering here in Northern Australia.
What is your target in terms of hybrid vigour when crossing your breeds with Brahman cattle?
Well, certainly because they are 100% Bosch Taurus and they're crossing with Brahman cattle 100% Bosch Indicus, you can expect maximum hybrid vigour or 100% hybrid vigour. And that way you get Mother Nature's free lunch, which is, in this case, with a Brahman over Belmont Red or Centerpole, an increase of about 10% in growth rate and 10% in fertility. And, you know, like the feedback we're getting, the bulls are able to handle that environment. So.
How important are EBVs to you?
EBVs are important. We've had EBVs on our Belmont Red cattle. Some of the limitations, I believe, in some of the African breeds is we don't have large numbers of cattle like tens of thousands, to make some of the EBVs robust. Certainly looking at the Brahman and the Angus breeds have got tens of thousands of cattle, and you know, maybe their data is more meaningful. A lot of the African breeds we're using have limited numbers. The Centerpoles we've looked into running a group breed plan run, but we haven't reached that critical mass of numbers to make it of substance yet.
What advice would you have for breeders wanting to start a crossbreeding program?
I think one of the areas where a lot of people, certainly in crossbreeding or composite breeding, just throw a bit in, and if they like the look of this and like the look of that, we try and use it on format. So we keep a general format or percentages the same. So if we're introducing new breeds, it would be in a similar percentage of what the format that we've selected. I know in our composites, you know, one of our composite programs, we're using like Centerpole Charolais, so it's a 25% Bosch Indicus, 25% temperate Bosch Taurus, and 50% African. And so if we introduce new breeds, we'd probably try and do it in that format without disrupting it.